All right, and welcome to episode one of Cozy Crawling. This is going to be a web series where we surf the web and not just the shiny, polished version that you are aware of, but the weird and wild wilderness of the internet's past. Looking for relics of the long gone era and finding other people's trash that we consider to be treasure. Um, Geocities, Wibby, weird forums. As you can see, we have Wibby up today. At least at the moment. So I'm not quite sure if you know much about Wibby. Wibby has an index of websites that it'll pull from that don't have JavaScript enabled. You never really know where you're going to come across. In this case, we're going to have to translate from Italian to English to see exactly what they're talking about. An educational site. I'll be honest. Most of this, I mean, I see them talking about Schrodinger and the like. Not a lot of this really sounds like anything super interesting. But I'm your guide today, crawling through those digital sands of the hourglass, searching for any sort of little granules that seem to differ from the usual hue, if you know what I mean in that sense. Um, so let's try again. History of India, Indus Valley civilizations. Sorry, Muslim invasions, coming of Europeans, struggle for independence, dance. Um, I got to be honest. Again, not a lot of this is very interesting. So it's really hit or miss. I'm getting a lot of history stuff today. And if you're curious about what this one is over here, this is just one that I came across before I had actually started the video here. Um, I'm a bit of an anime fan personally. I enjoy going through a lot of retro animes. I enjoy watching only a few of the modern titles. It's more that I've fallen out of the anime sphere of things. So, like, I've watched a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen. I've watched a little bit of Dan Dan and Dragon Ball Daima, but a lot of stuff recently, I would not say that I actually have much experience watching. Anyways, diving into this person's stuff, I mean, I kind of wanted to poke around this earlier this morning when I was first looking at it, but didn't have the time. I was just curious what all they've got. I like these little figures. So here's something that I gotta say that I love about some of these older websites. These are things that people really pushed their actual hearts and love into. They tried making something unique, something to show the world, and that's something that I personally like a lot. We're just gonna stop that here. This is Neocities, of course. Neocities being kind of like a revitalization of GeoCities, which for the uninitiated or for the younger viewers, you would go ahead, you would pick like a little neighborhood somewhere to place your website into, and then you would be able to customize it however you chose from that. What's interesting too is that if you were to inspect this, you probably can see all the HTML formatting code here as well. Um, of course, it is pointless if you don't have all of the files and whatnot. But if you were to go into here, you can see everything that was typed up and the like. Um, and you can see that they were talking about, some stuff that they found on video on the Internet Archive, VHS recordings that aired of one of their favorite movies. That's kind of interesting. And the thing is that shows that this one is a fairly newer website. Um, but it's still impacting people today. People like the personalization. I mean, come on. Come on, Cyber Chris, you look this is a wonderful fucking page already. Let's look at your cool stuff. Yeah, leaks of PC Engine Way, remnants of active life network software. Um, One thing that I have been trying to do is anytime that I see something really interesting, something that stands out to me, I will go ahead and we will say, let's say I want this picture. I want to keep some kind of remnants of the old internet here. You can see I got like a chimpanzee dude from India. I'm not going to actually save that right now, but you've got all kinds of stuff that you can come across on here. And well, for a secret page, it's kind of basic. I expected a little bit more something, not just a calendar of articles. I like this though, articles, a whole calendar for these articles showing when they came, like when they were released, year and whatnot. Like this one right here, 1986 FTS flyers. I don't know anything about FTS flyers. Um, Famicom Disk System flyers. Okay, A few flyers that came with the FDS back in 1986, though some are dated 1985. Nothing rare or spectacular here, just nice nostalgic reading. Okay, I mean, it looks pretty basic. I like all this though. This is pretty cool. Of course, the old school Zelda magazine with early 1986 prototype pictures. I mean, that's pretty cool. Seeing the compare and contrast to that. Um, and just looking at those planning documents, even how they wanted that to go. Uh, I'm a big retro gaming fan as well. I mean, Pokemon, red, blue, yellow. Those were my first three games, literally in order. Um, I got them all for Christmas one year, and I believe it was 1999. But another cool thing, you know what? I kind of want this Terminator. And you can see a little bit more of the gifts that I found. Like, look at the little octopus skull thing. I don't know if you can see the cyber skull here on my end, so I will make sure that I show you guys that real fast. Let's pop open. Yes, let's pop open image glass. This video, by the way, is not going to have any editing. I don't really have a script or anything like that. I figure that that's something to look at a little bit later on down the road. Maybe if I find some stuff that already is interesting to me that I want to show off, then I'll add a little bit more scripting to that. But I think in this case, it really is as simple as just wanting to re-experience the magic of the old internet. Go back to that interesting time. Like, let's see. PCM gene waveform tool. Let's see what this actually is. No instructions. Sorry for the bad user interface. Play around. Well, you know what? I think that looks pretty interesting, whatever the hell it is. I'm not even going to pretend to understand some of this. I don't know if it's like regarding video game making, testing things out. I mean, obviously, CPU timing test is new. New. Wow. 1997 must be new. I jest, of course. But point is pretty cool. We'll move on to the next one. Clark County, Wisconsin. Not sure what's so interesting about Wisconsin. Deaths. Interesting. Records of deeds, and then just indexes 1873 to 1907. All the deaths they had there, and it's going to. I only see people starting with A here. Oh, here we go. So can you see all the people there? Let's see who died with last name starting with C. Sakau Zeppeset. No first name, huh? Well, at least you had a cool one to work with. Zier, JP. I mean, that's pretty cool. Zyber, Peter Zyber. I kind of like that. Arthur, Paul. So I know that's Arthur. But Arthur Paul Zinker, 1906. Christina Zipfel. Clarence Zook. Kind of like all those. Those are all pretty cool names. But, you never know what you're going to come across. You really don't. Tours of bunkers. All right. Who all is war nerds out there? Who all is history nerds? Me and my roommate were history and gun buffs a little bit here. He's got a PC charger, a couple of revolvers, but I'm not quite sure what he grabbed. He recently grabbed a Ruger Mark IV 22 that he's going to use for competition shooting. I personally just have a 9mm Stoker. We share the shotgun. Like, of course, it's owned by him, but I use it for a lot of competition and practical, like testing shooting. We go out into the forest a bit and play around with that, and I've done a little bit, in open areas, shooting those off. It's just something that we enjoy as a whole. So I'm just curious what they have here, what they go over 2002 trips to different military bunkers. Gotta live in pillboxes, right? That was more of a, I don't know if you guys have seen Saga of Tanya the Evil, but that was a partial reference to that. So those who know, you know. St. Agnes, 2,450 feet above sea level. Museum opens daily, 3 p.m. Our French guide was very knowledgeable about St. Magnus, very interested in the Maginot Line in general. Started a short film about the village of St. Agnes and the fort. Luckily and surprisingly, it had English subtitles. Well, that's a win, I suppose. Fort had been maintained and occupied by an army until the end of the Cold War. It had been retained as it might be required as a nuclear fallout shelter, nuclear-proof command center. It was in the early 1990s. It was handed over to the village, now run as a tourist attraction. Slight shame, but makes sense, you know. When fully manned, the fort held 280 troops. We were able to see 3 of the floor blocks. Block 1 is entrance block. It was explained to us that although the gross ouvrage is, I'm sorry, any French viewers, I don't know how to say that, and some of these things I may not even try. And the Alps generally have internal tramways for moving ammunition around because of the compact nature of the forts and the close proximity of the fighting blocks to the entrance. They are all hand-push tramways rather than overhead electric traction employed in many of the larger forts further north. Another major difference is that the growth of whatever we saw had an entrance drawbridge over the fosse, usually found fosse, probably fosse, usually found raised in the smaller man's entrance alongside the removable footbridge across to the side to the steel door. Drawbridges are not seen at the northern forts. Immediately inside the entrance, the generator room is to the left, and with the 3 marine generators and compressors in excellent working order. That's kind of a win. That's pretty cool. On the opposite side of the corridor is the large filter room with 2 banks of carbon filters and large cylinders along both of the walls. Beyond this is a junction to the right leading into block 2 and beyond. If you guys want to kind of read the rest of this, I mean, I see climb up to block 3, see the 75 guns and 81 millimeter mortars. They're still in place on 2 levels. I mean, that's pretty cool. But I don't see a whole lot else that's super interesting about this. I don't think you guys all want to hear about the details of the kitchens and whatnot. That doesn't seem too interesting. Hackenberg. Why not? Let's take a peek at Hackenberg. Okay, some electric trains. 600 VDC electric trains. Can I view this in a slightly bigger format? No. It just still just say la vie. I had to toss in a little bit of French there. Something I say a lot though, all the same. Such is life. Can't let little things get you down. That's kind of one of the reasons I started doing this. Is I figure I enjoy browsing this stuff kind of as a cozy project, as something kind of just to look at. Um, I've actually been to this website a fair bit. I've poked around this website a little bit. Wibby doesn't always have the best randomization, but what can you do? It only categorizes or catalogs so many websites. That's kind of where the Internet Archive and the Geocities libraries and stuff like that kind of comes in. So let's actually skip on over Geocities gallery here. I will say that a lot of these do have like recipe books and the like, and I think that that's great. I think more people should be doing more with their families to make newer recipe books. I think cataloging things on a personal website is just as good. Um, Anyways, that's just kind of a side note. I saw that he had some recipes on that previous one. Let's look into the Enchanted Forest here. These are all GeoCities pages that have been cataloged and preserved by this other project. This isn't the one ran by Internet Archive, which, by the way, you can find a download for that. It's about a terabyte. Um, if you're brave enough to try to torrent that, it's not necessarily the fact that like it's dangerous, but it's gonna take a long time. Um, but let's see. Let's just click on one, right? Because okay, Sky Blue's homepage. Let's welcome my cave. The blue on blue, bro. As I lay within this den of mine, I gaze to the moon and seek of guidance. For my soul has lost its way, and having strayed from the pack, I have wandered for many moons to seek the knowledge which I have gained. Now within the moon, I seek a last thing I wish to learn. For I am the follower of my heart. I do as I feel right, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, Edgelord. I mean, I'm not trying to sound mean. I'm just saying. He just kind of, yeah. Freehand climbing, cruising, being with friends, and writing. contact me on ICQ. He actually still has an ICQ website there, or a email there. I don't know if ICQ mail is still available. I wonder if some of these people you could still get in touch with. I don't think guest books are intact. There are some guest books intact. Oh, let's see what they have to say. This seems actually kind of sweet. Sorry to be silent there for a second. I was wanting to see if people were just trolling him or if they were going to be really, really nice. Um, so this is from year 2000, May 27th, year 2000. What can I say that I haven't already said or that you don't already know? If only you saw yourself as others, myself included, see you. You are a very special and gifted person. If only you could see that in your 22 years of life, your poems and yourself have touched many people's hearts and lives in a way that only you could do. This may not seem like much to you, or you don't realize how much you mean to so many other people, again, myself included. You hold a special place in many hearts and continue to do so with each day that passes. Thank you so much for sharing yourself and poems. It really means a lot. It makes a difference in others' lives, more than you probably will ever know. If only there was someone who could touch your heart in a way that you've touched others' hearts. Damn. Damn, man. And now I gotta kind of go back and look at his poems because that was very heartfelt and that's kind of sweet. And again, I kind of agree with that sentiment. If you put your heart into something like this, even if it doesn't seem very impressive, keep in mind you are still putting yourself out there. You're still putting a vulnerable part of yourself onto a page for others to see. And I think that whether it be through poetry, through talking with somebody, through art, or anything like that, express any emotions you're feeling. Make sure you talk to somebody if you are depressed or anything like that. And, you know, if nothing else, I still appreciate you. We probably just are now meeting, but let's consider that something. So, first poem. Do you believe me when I say I love you? Do you believe me when I say I can spend eternity with you? I promise many things, some which will be broken. Only one thing I can promise that will never be broken is that I love you more today than what I did yesterday, but not as much as what I will love you tomorrow. That's cute. Alas, within the darkness, one sits alone with sorrow on thy mind and hardships in thy heart. Thou hast lived 2 decades of pain and sorrow, for thou hast seen many deaths and heartaches. The time has come for thee to rise from the darkness into the light, for within thine heart has the hardships fallen. Now joy has risen, and is thine soul to live again and be bold. I gotta be honest. As much as I see where people are coming from. That he seems like he has some depression things going on here. I want to give it give him a Scooby the Dooby. That's being saved. That's going into the relics of the old net. Oh, what do I say about this? It's a shame. I hope he's doing well. I too love Scooby Doo, so hey, there's something that we can relate on, Mr. Sky Blue Wolf. So with that being said, if you somehow see this video, hope you're doing well, and hope things got better and stayed better. Um, just seems a little bit edgy at points. Nowadays people might have a different reception to specifically how you write things, but that's neither here nor there. But let's poke around a little bit more. We'll do one more here before I stop this particular video, and maybe we can come back to this a little bit later. Um, sure, let's take a look at this person's Spicy Tray Spicy webpage. This is me, and as you can see, I'm very spicy. I like the slip knot back there. I don't really see much that's spicy. I know spicy, but hey. Admin assistant, I understand. Acting, singing, music, 50s, 60s rock, but sports, let's see here. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Everybody loves that, right? It's a pretty good movie. Theater, also Rocky Horror Picture Show and Clockwork Orange. Pretty decent choice. Favorite food, steak. Medium rare, I hope. Raw carrots, fair enough. Favorite drink, milk. Let's just kind of poke around a little bit.
Dave. I'm sorry?
That Dave.
Oh, no, I think you've got the wrong house.
Okay, Dave there.
No, there's no one called
We're gonna, okay.
Dave here.
Okay.
So none of the other links are working. I wanted to try to get away from the, from all the noise there. Ding Dong Duck CO UK. Some of these people I might try to send an email to just to be like, hey, visited your site. Seem like a cool person or some shit like that. I don't know. Just something to be like, hey, you don't have a guest book or that guest book doesn't exist anymore. Just figured I would say hi. But there really isn't a whole lot else here, at least right now, that seems really, interesting or outstanding from this page of this page of pages. But we'll come back to this. This is again something that I'm just kind of working on. This is the very first episode where I'm actually, kind of satisfied with the way that things flowed. Feel free to leave a like, leave some comments, give some criticism. I'm very open to criticism. I'm not going to build a better channel without it. I personally have never tried to actually get serious with YouTube, and this is also not something that I want to make super serious, but I do want to make better videos. I don't want this to become a career. I already have other jobs going on. But if you like what you see, just let me know and subscribe if you really want to see more content. And see you on the next one.